So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable meditation, or nice, comfortable seated position. Feet flat on the floor, about hips width apart. Shoulders aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up to the crown of the head and beyond. Take a nice deep breath. And just bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the nose, the face, the cheeks, the back of the head. And relax the temples, the jaw, the back of the tongue. Relax the back of the neck. And can you allow some softness to come into your face? And then relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. And perhaps you can allow some softness to come into all of your limbs. And if there is some discomfort there, maybe just acknowledge that it's there. Look at it. And then just notice if there are sounds in your environment and allow those sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just notice the thoughts that might be arising this evening. Undoubtedly, they're going to be different than the thoughts that you had yesterday. This time of night, they're not going to be exactly the same. Even if you have the same issue going on, you're probably going to be you're looking at it from a different angle. And then just whatever's arising in the mind, try not to judge, have criticism. And just allow the thoughts to arise and abide, and looking at them fairly objectively. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, the ones you don't like very much, and the strangers. They all can change place at any time. This friend, this enemy, and this stranger. And remember, they're all equal in their wish to be happy. They wish to be free from suffering and having this really extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think we'll do this practice this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And just as we've all been talking about Hin, just think particularly of her. And she's experiencing some extreme discomfort right now. So remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind so we can equally create positivity instead. And so sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not wanting, excuse me, Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. That's not what we're looking for. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is the teacher, your mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because you know they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've caused you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and it pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Hom Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Hom Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So then we're delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And so next is the speech. And imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. It arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking about other people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Ambhadrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, click on the switch, the light instantly dispels the darkness. So same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, depression, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, all of this, anxiety, depression, all of it is instantly purified as we recite the mantra. Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sudokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sudokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Te. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates just these tiny negative imprints of energy from the mind. Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe Vajrasappa samaya manupalaya Vajrasappa dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Ambajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So really imagine this, really feel this is the case. So now is the power of resolve, and is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with our body, our speech, or our mind. And if it can never be never again, at least we can think about refraining from harming. So without this, we keep doing the same old things over and over again, same old habits. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm is what guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So as Rinpoche used to say, everything exists on the tip of the wishes. So if we think about, first of all, just rejoicing in all your effort, coming here night after night, supporting each other, supporting your community. So rejoice in that effort and rejoice in just this community that we've built over the past 2 to 3 years now. Amazing. And then think that perhaps there is something that you've been working on for a little while that you would like to work on. Maybe it's some kind of, maybe it's negative self-talk, maybe it's misinterpreting things, maybe it's speaking before you really know what's coming out of the mouth is even true. There's many things we have that, you know, sometimes also too, when they talk about things like lying or not quite speaking the truth, it's not bad inherently, but it's just confusing for people. So that's something we don't want to confuse people, because it can be harmful, could lead to harm. So many things. There's just a few hints there. Take a nice deep breath and think about something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Keep it simple, keep the timeline simple and easy. The determination to not do again is what gives us strength to change. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same. And next, a little bit on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, whatever level you've studied emptiness, maybe this is the first time you've ever heard of it, place your mind there for a moment. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. They're just a bunch of dependent arisings. You can also think the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think May all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then think, if you have His Holiness the Dalai Lama as one of your teachers, you know, as we're all getting older, but His Holiness is now well into his 80s. So just make a strong request for His Holiness to have a long life, a long and healthy life, so we can continue giving advice and continue leading the Tibetan Buddhist people, particularly the Tibetans, so much faith and devotion towards him. Make a strong wish for His Holiness to live long, and then for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for your own teachers. Those of you who have your own personal teachers, wish for them to live long, continue to be able to keep teaching and, helping people. Okay, everyone, giving us advice. Lots of love. Thank you so very much. I will see some of you tomorrow.